Hey guys, it's Chad Keel. Today I'm here to talk about some really important subjects like why it's important to respect Native American burial sites, the impact of losing data, and also why it's important for trained professionals to do the excavation work. So let's get started. The Archaeological and Historic Preservation Act, the Archaeological Resource Protection Act, and the American Antiquities Act all basically state that it is illegal to excavate or collect archaeological material on federal property or Indian lands without a permit. Okay, these are all federal laws protecting everything that I'm about to outline for you guys here. Guys, this is like extremely straightforward to me. You know, for the same reason I wouldn't go into a cemetery or a modern graveyard and start removing bones or just items that the bones were left with, like rings and necklaces. For the same reason I wouldn't go and remove those things, I would not go and mess with a Native American burial site or grave site. Guys, this has been going on forever. In the 1930s, the gold diggers became the grave robbers when they discovered mounds in the eastern Oklahoma area, and so many artifacts were stolen and lost to history forever. Or another one I'm thinking about, the Grave Creek Mound in West Virginia, which housed the remains of the Adena civilization's most respected members, okay? And in 1838, I believe, grave robbers and artifact poachers ransacked the site and even charged admission for people to come and look at the bones. So why is it important to let trained professionals do the excavation work? Well, items can be destroyed in the process of excavation when inexperienced amateurs dig into these sites. That's like the biggest. And when trained pros do the work, the items are normally returned to tribes or displayed in museums for the public, you know, for education purposes. Also, data is properly recorded to help like anthropologists and their research, etc. So the research is shared across the scientific communities. In some cases, artifacts as simple as a pottery shard can reshape prehistory. Like a single pottery shard in the hands of a trained professional can determine things, like a lot of things, like where it came from, if it was traded amongst other cultures, what the pottery was made of, or even what the pot contained. With new technology making its way into archaeology, they're making amazing discoveries. Like 5 years ago, we estimated the Mayan civilization to be around like 10 million before their collapse. But with new technology, like the new LIDAR technology that's making its way into archaeology, now they've determined that the Mayan civilization was around 21 million before their collapse. This is huge. So what is the impact of losing all this data? Well, when artifact hunters remove items from their geological location, all of that information is lost to history. Even if the items are recovered, the location of the items, original setting, all the other data that's used for and shared amongst scientific communities like anthropologists and everything else is lost forever. Remember, archaeologists don't just dig to dig. They're normally called to excavate sites that are being developed by modern civilization, and they're just trying to record the prehistory and get it all documented before its destruction. Archaeologists have strict policies regarding burial sites, and they never dig into graves or burial sites and display those items or grave goods in museums, artifacts. And the biggest question is, well, what if I find these materials on private property? And that's the biggest loophole in this whole factor here. So basically, I'll give you some facts and info on that. In most states, if you find artifacts on your own property that are not associated with a grave, they are your property to keep. Now the question is that moral, I guess? You're gonna have to let that sit with your conscience. Also, if you find a grave and it's on your property, it's illegal to collect anything from that grave site. Lastly, if you do find grave goods or a grave site on your property, it is required by law that you report that to your state museum. As always, guys, do unto others as you'd want done to yourself or your loved ones in a grave site. Leave their items where they are and just, you know, let your moral conscience come into play here, compass, and let it guide you, okay? Because that's really what it comes down to. Because there's always going to be loopholes in the laws, but don't make it fun to do artifact hunting. Don't post it and brag about it on Instagram, YouTube, whatever. You see these hashtags, artifact hunters and all this stuff, hashtag artifact hunter. I mean, come on, guys. It's ridiculous. Spend the time, recreate the materials for yourself, learn these primitive skills, and that's so much more, you know, impactful. It'll have so much bigger impact on your life and the life of your children and, you know, everything else. So thank you guys again. My name is Chad Keel, naturereconnectionclass.com. I'll see you guys later.